Hi, my name is Krista Schnarr, and this is Bomb 3 Raccoon Dousing. Dousing is where the raccoons rub their hands together. It's usually done when they're eating or drinking. You can see him doing it here. Malcolm Lyle Watson discovered that it's not food or water dependent, and so it actually is not washing. The hypothesis is that it has something to do with a tactile experience. And we're going to see these four levels of analysis if that's what it is. So the function of it is obviously it increases the survival and the reproductive success because they are better able to access their food, reducing the risk of them ingesting harmful substances. They can identify and categorize things. And this was shown through Pablos et al. Let me slow it down. And I want you to see that in this video in particular, how the hands are used to identify, and the raccoon isn't even looking. And it just shows how sensitive the hands, the forepaws are. And he was not, because he had a buddy that was creeping up on him. So essentially, it's the hypothesis is that the forepaws are similar to the eyes and that they can send so much messages to the brain to identify foods or things that they're touching in general. The evolution of it is that through the hands-on foraging and wet environments, and because it's dark, they can't just rely on their eyes, and their eyes might have to be looking ahead for a predator, while their hands are on the ground and also feeling. And so they need both of them to be strong. The causation, it'd be sensory and neurological triggers, and there's direct connections from the forepaws that goes up to the brain. And we learned here that the water and the wetting is a primer that keeps the neurons firing, and that their two-thirds of their sensory cortex is processing input from the front paws. On the fourth level analysis development, this is something where we learned in Tinberg's principles in the cog books, Primer to Animal Behavior. And this one's really important to answer this question because the why do they do it is different, considering that urban raccoons do the dowsing behavior, but raccoons in the wild rarely do it. And the raccoons learn this behavior. The development of it is learned through observing other animals do it, especially in the urban environments. But it's also like, why do they do it in the urban environments? And the hypothesis is that it's boredom, lack of normal, consistent stimuli, or that because the moisture is known to stimulate the neurons, that the ground in for urban raccoons isn't as wet. And so with them rubbing it together, they're trying to keep that system at its like peak performance.